The ship rocked violently as it entered the atmosphere of Earth. Lisa Morgan clutched her seat with white knuckles. Her first diplomatic mission to an alien world, and she was terrified. The Zentari had made contact with humans only 3 months ago, and now she, a simple museum curator, was part of the first cultural exchange program. The landing was smoother than expected. Lisa stepped onto the ramp and breathed in Earth air for the first time. Her purple skin glistened under the strange, yellow sun. Her 4 eyes blinked rapidly, adjusting to the new light. As Princess of the Zentari, her presence on Earth was meant to strengthen the alliance between their species. Agent Kate Brown waited at the bottom of the ramp. She stared up at the 8-foot-tall alien woman and swallowed hard. This was not what she expected when she joined the diplomatic security team. The princess towered over her with gleaming purple skin and those 4 unnerving eyes. Kate straightened her jacket and stepped forward. "Welcome to Earth, Princess Zorlana," Kate said, extending her hand in greeting. The alien woman stared at the offered hand with curiosity, before extending her own 6-fingered hand. "The customs of your world fascinate me," Zorlana replied. Her voice had an odd musical quality that made Kate shiver. The translator device at her throat converted her words to English with only a slight delay. The motorcade took them through the city. Zorlana pressed against the window, watching humans go about their daily lives. So small, so fragile, yet they built all this. Their resilience impressed her. Her people had always believed they were the apex species of the galaxy. Earth was proving them wrong. Kate noticed the princess staring at her. Again, those 4 eyes seemed to miss nothing. "Is something wrong?" "Your Highness, your species lacks our natural armor, yet you venture into space," Zorlana said. "Your bodies are soft and vulnerable, but your spirits are made of stronger material than any in the galaxy. This is why my people wish to learn from yours." The hotel suite had been modified for Zentari physiology. The ceilings were higher, the furniture reinforced. Kate escorted the princess inside, her hand resting on her concealed weapon. Intelligence had warned of extremist groups opposed to alien contact. She would not let anything happen to the princess on her watch. Zorlana removed her formal diplomatic robes, revealing the natural armor plates covering her torso and limbs. She noticed Kate quickly averting her eyes. "Is this offensive to humans?" she asked. "No," Kate replied with a blush. "Just different. Our species has different customs about undressing." "Fascinating." Zorlana moved closer to Kate, studying her with intense interest. "May I?" She reached toward Kate's face. Kate nodded nervously. The alien princess gently touched her cheek. "Your skin is so soft," she whispered. "How do you survive with such vulnerability?" "We adapt," Kate said. "We create things to protect us. Technology, armor, weapons." Kate felt strange being examined like a specimen, but also understood the importance of this cultural exchange. The princess seemed genuinely curious, not condescending. This wasn't the arrogant alien overlord humanity had feared. The next morning, protocol officers arrived with a detailed itinerary. The princess would tour major human institutions, starting with government buildings, then scientific facilities, and finally cultural landmarks. Kate would remain as primary security, Zorlana insisted, despite offers of more experienced agents. "I trust this human," Zorlana told her advisors. "She understands vulnerability and strength. She will protect me adequately." The first stop was the United Nations, where world leaders had gathered to meet the alien royal. Zorlana stood tall before them, her presence commanding the room. Human leaders looked small beside her, but she bowed respectfully. "To each, my world has watched yours for centuries," Zorlana announced through her translator. "We saw your wars, your struggles, your triumphs. We debated whether to contact you. Many believed you too violent, too unpredictable. I am here to judge for myself if the alliance my mother proposes will benefit both our peoples." The human representatives shifted. Uncomfortably, some whispered among themselves. Kate stood at attention near the wall, watching for any threats but also observing the political dance unfolding. After formal speeches, Zorlana mingled with diplomats, asking direct questions that sometimes breached protocol. Kate noticed how the princess ignored power structures, speaking to assistants and leaders with equal interest, judging each on their responses, not their titles. Later, as they returned to the motorcade, Kate asked about this behavior. "On our world, rank matters greatly," Zorlana explained. "But I seek to understand humans, not just your leaders. Your species shows remarkable variation in thinking. Each individual offers unique perspective. This fascinates us." Their next stop was a military base where human technology would be demonstrated. Kate watched Zorlana carefully as weapon systems were displayed. The princess showed little reaction to missiles and tanks, but became animated when shown protective gear and medical evacuation. "Protocols you spend as much energy saving lives as taking them," she noted. "This balance intrigues us." That night in her suite, Zorlana called Kate in for a private conversation. The princess sat cross-legged on the floor, ignoring the custom furniture. "Your leaders showed me weapons today," she said. "But I wish to understand ordinary humans tomorrow. I want to see where humans live, shop, eat. Can this be arranged?" Kate hesitated. Such a change would require additional security measures. But seeing Zorlana's genuine interest, she nodded. "I think we can make that happen, Your Highness, but you'll attract a lot of attention. This is acceptable," Zorlana replied. "I wish to see humans in their natural environment, not just formal settings." As Kate left to make arrangements, she realized something was changing in her perception of the alien royal. Behind those 4 eyes and armor plates was a mind genuinely trying to understand humanity. And despite herself, Kate was beginning to like her. The morning brought new challenges. Kate had arranged for the princess to visit a shopping mall, a park, and a local restaurant. Security teams were stationed throughout each location. Civilian clothes hiding their weapons, Zorlana changed into more casual attire, though nothing could hide her alien nature. The mall visit caused an immediate sensation. Humans stopped and stared, some taking pictures, others backing away nervously. Children pointed and asked loud questions. Kate stayed close, monitoring the crowd for threats, but Zorlana seemed to enjoy the attention. The princess stopped at a clothing store, fascinated by the variety of fabrics and styles. "So much diversity for such similar bodies," she commented. "Your species lacks natural color, yet creates it artificially impressive." A young girl approached shyly, her mother hovering protectively nearby. "Are you really a princess?" the child asked. Zorlana knelt down, still towering over the girl. "Yes, on my world I am third heir to the high throne, Do. You have magic powers," the girl continued. The princess laughed, a sound like wind chimes. "No, but I have this." She revealed a small bioluminescent patch on her wrist that glowed with shifting colors. The girl gasped in delight. "Your young are curious, not fearful," Zorlana said to Kate after the girl left. "Most species teach fear of differences, but humans seem to encourage exploration." At the food court, Zorlana observed humans eating with great interest. The Zentari diet consisted primarily of mineral-rich pastes. Her species had evolved beyond the need for solid food, but she requested samples of human cuisine to analyze. Kate watched nervously as the princess examined a hamburger, dissecting it methodically with her 6 fingers. "The chemical composition is fascinating," Zorlana noted. "Our scientists will want to study this further." A small crowd had gathered at a respectful distance. Kate noticed a man moving closer than others, his hand inside his jacket. She shifted position, placing herself between him and the princess. Her hand moved to her weapon. The man pulled out not a gun but a smartphone. "Are you Princess Zorlana?" he asked. "Can I get a selfie with you?" Kate relaxed slightly, but remained alert. The princess looked to her for explanation. Kate demonstrated with her own phone, explaining the concept of selfies. Zorlana seemed amused by this human custom and agreed to the photo. By midday, they had attracted a following of curious humans. Security reported no threats, but Kate remained vigilant. The park visit offered more space, and Zorlana seemed to relax among the trees and open sky. "Your planet has remarkable biodiversity," she said. "Much was lost on our world during the Great Warming. We preserve what remains in controlled environments, but this wild growth is beautiful. Kate noticed how the princess touched leaves and grass with gentle reverence. Her species might be physically imposing, but they seemed to have a deep appreciation for life. They walked to a small pond where ducks swam lazily. Zorlana watched them with all four eyes. Wide, small flying creatures approached a group of humans who threw food to them. Kate explained the concept of feeding ducks. Zorlana seemed mystified by this interaction. You provide nutrition to unrelated species with no benefit to yourselves. Why sometimes we just enjoy making other creatures happy? Kate said. It's not always about benefit. This answer seemed to puzzle the princess deeply. She stood in silence, watching the scene, her head tilted, in thought. The restaurant Kate had chosen was upscale but not pretentious. The owner had been briefed about their special guest and prepared a private room. Zorlana examined the menu with curiosity, asking about ingredients and preparation methods. Though she could not eat human food, she wanted to understand the experience. Your species devotes remarkable resources to food preparation, Zorlana observed. The sensory experience seems as important as nutrition. Kate nodded. Food is more than survival. For us, it's culture, history, pleasure sharing. The princess considered this. Your species finds meaning in biological necessity. This efficiency of purpose is admirable. As they left the restaurant, a crowd had gathered outside. Word had spread about the alien princess visiting local establishments. Security formed a perimeter as they moved toward the waiting vehicle. Kate noticed a tense energy in the crowd, different from the curious mall visitors. From the crowd, someone shouted, "Aliens go home Earth, for humans." Suddenly, an object flew through the air. Kate reacted instantly, pushing Zorlana down as security closed ranks. The object, a paint balloon, splattered red across the sidewalk where they had stood. More shouting erupted as security detained. The thrower Kate helped Zorlana into the vehicle and they sped away. The princess sat quietly, her four eyes blinking rapidly. "Are you all right, Your Highness?" Kate asked, checking for any signs of injury. The princess nodded. "I am unharmed." Your reaction was impressively quick. The threat assessment from your government mentioned opposition groups. Kate frowned. We call them xenophobes. People afraid of anything different. Fear makes them dangerous. Fear is universal. Zorlana said. We have similar groups on my world who oppose contact with humans. They believe your species will contaminate our culture with chaos and individualism. Kate looked surprised. I thought your species was united. We have differences of opinion, though we express them less violently. Zorlana explained. No species is truly homogeneous. This is something both our peoples must remember. Back at the secure hotel, Zorlana requested a meeting with her advisors. Kate stood outside the room while they spoke in their native language. The musical tones rose and fell in what sounded like heated debate. When the advisors left, Zorlana called Kate inside. The incident today concerns my security team. She said they wish to cancel tomorrow's museum. Kate understood the caution, but also saw disappointment in the princess posture. Security can be increased, she suggested. The museum is easier to secure than public spaces. Zorlana seemed to consider this. The cultural artifacts of your species are central to my mission here. I wish to proceed despite risks. Kate nodded, feeling strangely proud of the princess' courage. You'll make the arrangements, Your Highness. As she left, Kate realized she was beginning to see past the alien features to the person beneath. Zorlana was not just a diplomatic assignment, but someone she was coming to respect. Her own perceptions were changing as quickly as the princess' understanding of humanity. The next morning, they visited the Natural History Museum. Lisa Morgan stood nervously at the entrance. She would be guiding the alien princess through human evolutionary history. The princess arrived with Agent Brown at her side, and Lisa felt her heart race. The royal was even more intimidating in person. Princess Zorlana. This is Lisa Morgan, our museum curator. Kate introduced them. The princess extended her hand, mimicking the human greeting she had learned. Lisa took it carefully, feeling the rough texture of alien skin against her palm. This female will teach me about your species' evolution, Zorlana asked. her four eyes fixed on Lisa with startling intensity. "Yes, Your Highness," Lisa managed. "Though I'm just showing you our current understanding." The tour began with early hominids, Lisa explaining how humans evolved from ape-like ancestors. Zorlana listened intently, asking questions that revealed a keen scientific mind. Lisa gradually relaxed as they shared knowledge. When they reached the display on modern warfare, Zorlana stopped. "Your species fought itself repeatedly," she observed. "Yet you survived and grew stronger." "How we learn from our mistakes," Lisa said. "Sometimes the hard way." The exhibit on human technological development particularly fascinated the princess. She studied the progression from stone tools to digital devices. "Your adaptation rate exceeds any species we have encountered," Zorlana noted. "Your bodies change slowly, but your technology evolves rapidly." Lisa nodded. "This has been key to our survival. We can't grow natural armor like Zentari, so we invented shields and armor instead." Zorlana seemed impressed by this explanation. She touched the glass case containing early computers. "These machines seem primitive, yet they led to your global information network within a single human lifetime." Remarkable. As they moved through the exhibits, Lisa noticed the princess taking particular interest in art and cultural artifacts. These were not part of the official tour, but Zorlana stopped at each display, asking questions about symbolism and purpose. "Your species creates objects without practical function," Zorlana observed. "Why expend resources on items that provide no survival advantage? Beauty and expression matter to us," Lisa explained. "They feed something beyond our physical needs." The princess considered this. "Our species focused on practical advancement for thousands of years. We only developed aesthetic expression after mastering our environment. Perhaps your different path gave humans unique perspective." In the paleontology wing, Zorlana studied the dinosaur skeletons with great interest. "Your planet experienced multiple extinction events, yet life persisted," she noted. "My scientists theorize this. Planetary resilience shaped human adaptability. Life finds a way," Lisa said, quoting a famous movie, then blushing at the cliché. The phrase seemed to resonate with Zorlana. "Life finds a way," she repeated. "This wisdom explains much about your species." When they reached the genetics exhibit, Zorlana became especially animated. The display showed human DNA compared to other Earth species. The princess studied the models carefully. "Your genetic diversity is unusually high for an apex species," she noted. "Most dominant life forms trend toward genetic uniformity as they evolve, yet humans maintain significant variation. This explains your physical differences and perhaps your varied thinking patterns." Kate, who had been silently monitoring security, suddenly received an alert through her earpiece. She moved closer to the princess, whispering something. Zorlana's posture changed instantly. "We must conclude our tour." "Lisa," the princess said, "our time is limited." Lisa noticed security personnel moving through the museum, taking positions near exits. Something had changed, but she continued professionally. "Of course, Your Highness. Let me show you one last exhibit before you go." The special exhibit on human space exploration seemed appropriate. The walls displayed images of astronauts' moonwalks and space stations. Zorlana stood before a large photograph of Earth taken from lunar orbit. "Your species looks back at itself from space," she said softly. "This perspective changes how you see your world, does it not?" Lisa nodded. "Many astronauts report this effect. They see Earth as a single fragile system without borders. On my world, we never developed separate nations," Zorlana said. "We unified early in our development, seeing ourselves as one species. With shared interests, your fractured approach created conflict but also diversity of thought. Perhaps both paths have value." As they concluded the tour, Lisa presented the princess with a small gift, a book on human art history. Zorlana accepted it with what appeared to be genuine pleasure. "Your perspective has been valuable." Lisa Morgan. "The Zentari will benefit from your knowledge." Outside the museum, the security presence had doubled. Kate stayed close to Zorlana, guiding her quickly toward the armored vehicle. As they moved, a small drone appeared overhead. Security reacted immediately, surrounding the princess. Get down, Kate shouted, pushing Zorlana toward the vehicle. The drone dropped something that clattered on the pavement. Security scattered, but Kate stayed with the princess. The object was not an explosive but a simple recording device. A voice boomed from it. Earth rejects alien influence. Return to your world or face human resistance. Kate kicked the device away and rushed Zorlana into the vehicle. They sped away as security dealt with the situation. Inside the car, the princess sat calmly, her 4 eyes blinking in sequence. You remained beside me despite unknown threat. Zorlana observed. You place my safety above your own. Why? It's my job, Kate said simply. A job implies payment for service, Zorlana countered. This was potential sacrifice. Does your government value my life so highly? Kate considered her answer. It's not about money or policy. I swore to protect you, so I will. Even if it means risk, Zorlana studied Kate with all 4 eyes. This concept of personal honor independent of authority intrigues us, the individual making choices separate from the collective. Your species contains contradictions that continue to surprise me. Back at the secure facility, Kate received a security briefing. The drone incident was linked to a known anti-alien group. Threats were increasing. The diplomatic team recommended cutting the visit short. Kate brought this news to Zorlana with regret. The princess listened without interruption, then shook her head. I will complete my scheduled time on Earth, she declared. The actions of a minority will not alter our diplomatic mission, but the security risks Kate began are present on any world, Zorlana finished. Any meaningful exchange involves risk, Agent Brown. I have observed humans facing danger with courage. Should I show less? Kate could not argue with this logic but felt increased pressure. Her responsibility for the princess' safety now felt more personal than professional. She reviewed security protocols, doubled checks on personnel, and requested additional resources. The next few days would require heightened vigilance. That evening, Zorlana requested Lisa Morgan join them for dinner. The curator arrived nervous but honored by the invitation. The princess had questions about human art history that extended beyond their museum tour. Over the meal, prepared specially to accommodate both species. Dietary needs, they discussed human creativity. Zorlana shared that Zentari art focused on mathematical precision and symmetry, while human art embraced imperfection and emotional expression. Your species creates beauty from chaos. Zorlana noted, this reflects your evolutionary path. Always adapting to unpredictable environments. As the evening progressed, Kate observed the growing understanding between the human curator and alien princess. Despite vast biological and cultural differences, they found common ground in curiosity and respect. If these two could bridge such differences, perhaps there was hope for broader understanding between their species. On their 5th day on Earth, intelligence reports warned of a planned attack. Kate doubled security around the princess. But during a public appearance at the Science Center, chaos erupted. Gunshots rang out and people scattered. Kate threw herself in front of Zorlana, taking a bullet in the shoulder. She fell to the ground as security forces responded. The princess knelt beside her, purple face contorted with concern. Why, she demanded, why protect me with your fragile body? Because it's my job, Kate gasped. Through the pain, Zorlana lifted Kate easily with her powerful arms, her natural armor deflecting another bullet that struck her back. The princess carried the wounded agent to safety, while security neutralized the threat in the hospital. Zorlana refused to leave Kate's side. She studied the medical procedures with fascination. Your bodies heal themselves, she noted. Such remarkable adaptation. The doctors worked quickly to remove the bullet and repair the damage. Kate drifted in and, out of consciousness, aware of the princess' looming presence beside her bed. The royal had refused all security protocols, insisting on remaining with the injured agent. When Kate fully awoke, Zorlana was still there, her large frame awkwardly positioned in a human chair. The princess leaned forward when she saw Kate was conscious. You risked everything for me, she said. Her musical voice subdued. Why? Kate tried to shrug, but pain shot through her shoulder. It's what humans do for people we care about, she mumbled, still groggy from medication. Care about Zorlana repeated the phrase as if testing its meaning. You formed attachment to me despite our differences. Is that so strange? Kate asked. On my world, attachments form through biological compatibility or shared genetic heritage, Zorlana explained. We do not connect easily with other species. Yet I too feel concern for your well-being. This was unexpected. Kate smiled weakly. Looks like we're both learning new things. Government officials arrived soon. After anxious about the diplomatic incident, the princess received them regally, despite her disheveled appearance. She made one thing immediately clear. I will continue my mission on Earth. The actions of extremists will not deter diplomatic relations. Officials exchanged nervous glances. Your Highness, one began. Security cannot be guaranteed. Zorlana stood to her full height, towering over the humans. Agent Brown took a bullet meant for me, she said. This demonstrates the highest values of your species. I will honor her sacrifice by completing our exchange. No one argued further. The princess had spoken. Later that day, Lisa arrived with flowers for Kate. The curator had been informed about the incident and rushed to the hospital. Zorlana watched with interest as Lisa arranged the plants in a vase, explaining the human custom of bringing flowers to the sick. They provide no medical benefit, yet you bring them. Zorlana observed. They bring cheer. Lisa explained. Something beautiful in a sterile place. Zorlana seemed to understand this concept. She had been studying human customs of care and compassion with growing interest. The attack changed something in the diplomatic relations. The Zentari Queen contacted Earth governments personally. For the first time in recorded history, she apologized to another species for the danger her daughter faced, for the injury to a human protector. The Queen announced that Zentari medical technology would be shared, specifically regenerative treatments that might benefit Agent Brown's recovery. Earth governments scrambled to accommodate this unexpected generosity. Kate found herself the center of attention as Zentari physicians arrived with equipment never before seen on Earth. The doctors spoke through translators, explaining the procedure to nervous human medical staff. The Zentari method accelerated natural healing processes, Kate was told. The technology had evolved from their understanding of their own armor regeneration, but had been adapted for softer tissues. Will it work on humans? Lisa asked, watching the alien doctors prepare. Zorlana nodded. Our physiologists have studied human biology extensively. The principles are universal, though the application must be modified. Kate submitted to the treatment, feeling a warm tingling sensation spread through her injured shoulder. The pain receded almost immediately. The human doctors watched in amazement as the wound began visibly healing before their eyes. This is just one technology we might share. Zorlana told the assembled officials, our worlds have much to offer each other. In the days that followed, Kate's recovery progressed rapidly. The Zentari treatment had accelerated her healing beyond anything possible with human medicine. She remained in hospital for observation, but was soon walking the corridors Zorlana visited daily, bringing questions about human customs and sharing stories of her own world. Kate learned that the princess was considered unconventional among her own people. Her interest in other species was viewed with suspicion by some Zentari elders. Yet the Queen supported her daughter's explorations, believing in the value of understanding others. Your mother sounds wise, Kate commented during one visit. She has ruled for 3 centuries, Zorlana replied. Age brings perspective. The Queen believes isolation leads to stagnation. Our species needs new ideas, new challenges. 3 centuries, Kate marveled at the lifespan difference between their species. Your short lives give humans urgency, Zorlana observed. You accomplish much in limited time. This drives your innovation. While Kate recovered, Lisa continued showing Zorlana human cultural sites. Under increased security, they visited art galleries, concert halls, and historical monuments. The princess absorbed everything, asking insightful questions that often made Lisa reconsider her own understanding of human culture. At an orchestra performance, Zorlana sat entranced by the music. Her 4 eyes closed as she listened. The Mathematical precision combined with emotional expression seemed to affect her deeply. Afterward, she requested recordings to share with her people. "Your music contains mathematical ratios present throughout the universe," she told Lisa, "yet you arrange them to create emotional response. This blend of logic and feeling reflects your species' unique balance." Lisa had never considered human music in these terms. The princess offered perspective that made familiar things new. Each evening, Zorlana would visit Kate, sharing what she had learned. During these conversations, their relationship evolved from formal to something approaching friendship. The princess spoke more openly about her world and personal thoughts. "On my world, I am considered unusual," Zorlana admitted. "My interest in other species, particularly humans, is seen as eccentric. Some believe I am unfit for leadership. That seems short-sighted," Kate said. "Understanding others is essential for good leadership." Zorlana tilted her head, studying Kate with her upper eyes while the lower pair blinked slowly. "Perhaps this is why I find your species fascinating. You value difference rather than fearing it, not all of us." Kate reminded her, thinking of the attackers, true but enough to make change possible. Zorlana replied, "My people could learn this from yours." As Kate's recovery progressed, plans were made for her to rejoin the security detail. The princess had refused all replacement agents, insisting that only Kate would serve as her primary protection. "She trusts you," one official explained, somewhat baffled by the alien royal's attachment to a junior agent. Kate understood what the officials did not. Through shared danger, they had formed a bond that transcended species. Their differences remained, but understanding had grown. Zorlana no longer seemed alien in the way she once had. The princess' final week on Earth would include meetings with scientific leaders, discussions of potential technological exchanges, and cultural events designed to showcase human diversity. Kate prepared to resume her duties, though doctors advised caution. The Zentari delegation had grown more open, sharing limited technology and cultural artifacts. The initial fear and suspicion on both sides had given way to cautious optimism. Media coverage shifted from sensationalism to serious discussion of what the alliance might mean. In this atmosphere of growing cooperation, Kate and Zorlana prepared for the final phase of the diplomatic mission. Both knew that what had begun as formal exchange had become something more significant, a blueprint for understanding between very different peoples. The final week of the royal visit brought new challenges and opportunities. The science conference where Zorlana would present Zentari research was considered high risk. Security was unprecedented. Kate, now fully recovered thanks to alien medicine, returned to lead the protection detail. The princess seemed pleased to have Kate back at her side, though she expressed concern about the agent's recent injury. "I am capable of protecting myself," she noted. "My natural armor can deflect your weapons." "No," Kate said, "but that's not the point. The point is you shouldn't have to." This concept seemed to intrigue Zorlana. "On my world, rulers are expected to defend themselves," she explained. "Power and protection are unified. Humans separate them." Kate replied, "Our leaders are protected so they can focus on leading." The conference center bustled with the world's top scientists, all eager to hear the princess' presentation. Kate remained vigilant, remembering the previous attack. Her team had swept the building, repeatedly checked all attendees, and established multiple perimeter layers. Zorlana took the stage, her tall purple form commanding attention. She activated a holographic display that hovered above the podium, showing complex mathematical equations. The human audience murmured in appreciation. "For millennia, our species developed separately," the princess began. "Yet we followed similar paths of inquiry. The universe speaks in mathematics, and both our peoples learned to listen." She proceeded to explain. Zentari understanding of physics, revealing concepts that aligned with human theories, but extended them in new directions. The scientists in the audience leaned forward, taking notes, some gasping at particularly revolutionary ideas. "This knowledge we freely share," Zorlana announced. "But technology without wisdom brings danger. Our peoples must understand each other, not just exchange information." After the presentation, human scientists swarmed the stage, eager to ask questions. The princess answered patiently explaining concepts that stretched human understanding. Kate watched proudly, seeing how far they had come from those first awkward interactions. Lisa attended the conference too, taking notes for the museum archives the curator had become, an unofficial cultural ambassador helping translate human concepts for the princess. Zorlana often sought her out in the crowd, checking her reactions to scientific discussions. That evening, a formal reception was held. Scientists, diplomats, and cultural leaders mingled with the Zentari delegation. Kate remained close to the princess, alert for any threat. Zorlana moved through the crowd with grace. Despite her imposing size, a renowned physicist approached the princess with a question about Zentari, understanding of dark matter. The resulting discussion drew a crowd as Zorlana used her holographic device to illustrate concepts beyond current human technology. Your species developed differently, yet reached similar conclusions, Zorlana noted. This suggests universal truths transcending biology. Our differences matter less than our shared curiosity. As the evening progressed, Kate noticed Zorlana growing quieter, more thoughtful. The princess eventually stepped away from the crowd, moving to a quieter corner. Kate followed, maintaining a respectful distance. "You seem troubled, Your Highness," she said when they were alone. Zorlana turned all four eyes, focusing on Kate. "My time here ends soon," she said, "yet there is so much more to learn about your species. I find myself reluctant to leave." Kate felt a surprising echo of that sentiment. The princess had become more than an assignment. Something like friendship had formed between them. "Perhaps you can return," Kate suggested. "Or other exchanges could be arranged." Zorlana nodded. "My recommendation to the Queen will be for expanded contact. Not just scientific, but cultural, educational, personal. The true understanding between species happens between individuals, not governments." The next day brought the final scheduled event, a cultural celebration where human artists would perform alongside Zentari counterparts who had arrived with the medical delegation. The outdoor venue presented security challenges, but Kate had insisted on honoring the princess' wishes for an open, accessible event. The performances began with human musicians playing instruments from around the world. Then Zentari artists demonstrated their own musical traditions using bioharmonic resonators that created sounds impossible for human instruments. The finale brought both groups together in a piece composed specially for the occasion. The harmony was surprising and beautiful, different scales and tones merging into something entirely new. The audience sat spellbound. As alien and human sounds intertwined, Zorlana watched intently, her upper eyes fixed on the performers while her lower pair scanned the audience reactions. When the music ended, silence hung in the air for several heartbeats before thunderous applause erupted. The princess stood joining the ovation. Her own people followed suit, the first time many humans had seen Zentari express open enthusiasm. "This is the true exchange," Kate heard Zorlana say. "Not technology, not resources, but understanding." As the celebration continued, Kate remained vigilant, but the event proceeded without incident. The security threat had diminished as public opinion shifted increasingly towards support for the alien alliance. The protection detail began to relax slightly. Lisa joined them as the event wound down, bringing farewell gifts from the museum staff. For the princess, Zorlana accepted them with genuine appreciation, asking detailed questions about each item and its significance. The three women sat together as evening fell, discussing what had been accomplished during the visit and what might come next. The conversation flowed easily despite their differences. Each had changed through their interactions, seeing beyond alien features or human fragility to the person beneath. On the final morning, preparations for departure were underway. The Zentari ship stood ready on the landing field. Kate and Lisa accompanied the princess for her last hours on Earth. The three had developed an unlikely bond that none had expected. Lisa was summoned to the alien ship before its departure. Zorlana greeted her warmly, no longer the intimidating royal, but something closer to a friend. "I will tell my people what I learned here," the princess said. "That humans are physically weaker than us but possess strength we cannot comprehend." "What will happen now?" Lisa asked. The princess smiled, showing rows of sharp teeth. "The Zentari will stand with humans against the darkness of space." We recognize now that true strength lies not in natural armor or physical power, but in the will to survive against all odds. You have taught us this. Kate joined them aboard the ship for a final security briefing. The princess quarters were prepared for the long journey home. Zentari officers moved efficiently, around them attending to departure procedures. Before I leave, Zorlana said, I have gifts for you both. She presented Lisa with a small device. When activated, it projected a three-dimensional map of the known galaxy with Zentari annotations. The curator gasped at the detail and scope. For Kate, the princess had something different, a small purple crystal on a chain. This contains memories of our time together, Zorlana explained. Our technology allows experiences to be shared. When you hold it, you will see through my eyes how I perceived your world. Kate accepted the gift, touched by its personal nature. Thank you, Your Highness. No longer Your Highness, Zorlana corrected. Between us, such formality is unnecessary. We are now what your people call friends, are we not? Kate smiled. We are. The departure ceremony was brief. Government officials made speeches about new beginnings and cooperative futures. Zorlana spoke last, her words translated for the assembled crowd. We came to study humans, she said. But we learned about ourselves. The Zentari believed we were superior in our natural armor, our technology, our unified society. Yet humans showed us different strength. The power of diversity, adaptation, and individual choice. These qualities make your species formidable, not despite your physical vulnerability, but because of it. You adapted rather than evolved, creating solutions no single path could discover. She turned to where Kate and Lisa stood. In these humans, I found not just diplomatic contacts, but teachers. They showed me courage, compassion, curiosity. These transcend biology. They belong to no single species but to life itself. This is what our peoples will share. As the ship prepared for departure, Kate and Lisa moved back to the viewing area. The massive vessel hummed with energy. The princess stood at a viewport visible to those below. She raised a six-fingered hand in farewell. The ship rose silently into the sky, becoming smaller, until it vanished among the clouds. Earth had changed, forever. The isolation of humanity had ended, replaced by connection to a larger community of intelligent life. As the ship departed Earth, Lisa watched the lights fade into the night sky. The Alliance would change everything humanity had impressed. The mighty Zentari, not with weapons or technology, but with their fundamental nature. Their vulnerability, their adaptability, their willingness to protect others. Kate joined her arm in a sling. I think we made quite an impression, she said. The most powerful species in the galaxy, and they think we're the impressive ones, Lisa laughed. The universe would never be the same. 3 months later, Kate received a transmission. The Zentari royal fleet would arrive next month. Princess Zorlana would lead a delegation of scientists, artists, and diplomats for an extended cultural exchange. The message ended with a personal note. I return not just as representative of my people, but as your friend. The princess wrote, much remains to be learned between us. The journey has only begun.